smiles at movies, and he keeps the celebrities happy when their personalised designs come true. Nothing seems to be too difficult for George. He's an artist whose ideas and imagination have made him what he is today, the king in his field.
According to Barris, the Batmobile is still the world's most famous custom car. The original Batmobile cost $75,000 to make. 4 replicas were made also, at a cost of $40,000 each.
George, how did you become involved with cars?
Well, actually, like every American boy, shall we say, a dream would be to collect cars or design cars. And being a hobby, I enjoyed doing it. Of course, I was a Greek descent. My parents had a hotel and a restaurant. And I just decided to build some balsa wood models when I was about 8, 9 years old. And I went to the 5 and dime store, entered a few contests. I won a couple of them. So that made me a car designer instead of an airplane designer. Of course, my parents finally gave me their hand-me-down car, which was a 1925 Buick. And I would take that car out and I'd customize it, painted all the fenders up, put some foxtails and mud flaps on it, and that was my first car. Of course, I was 13 years old, I couldn't drive it. My brother was older, so he was the one that drove it, and he would take me to school, both of us, and we had quite a lot of fun in my customized Buick.
The kinds of cars owned by actors and actresses are as varied as their personalities and lifestyles. Because of their large income, stars can afford to buy expensive luxury cars and have them customised. Some stars prefer older cars, others enjoy sports cars, and still others favour classic or antique cars. All the cars are distinctive, yet celebrities like to add a personalised flair, special paint jobs, accessories, special wheels or body restyling.
What's been the hardest project you've worked on?
Well, actually, every project is a major challenge, mainly because of the different things that a car must do, either in motion pictures or studios or commercial or even for a celebrity or whatever professional person. You have to design and build a car according to what their desires or needs are. So the challenge is what becomes the problem. The problem isn't the vehicle itself. You can always work it out if you decide you want to undertake the project. And I'm a believer, if there's a will, there's a way to do it. So I find that the challenge is more important than the problems.
A customised car, as the name implies, is a vehicle modified to meet the personal taste of its owner. When a car is customised, a part or a whole section of the vehicle is transformed. Headlights, grille fenders, wheels and tyres are usually altered. Other components are added to the car to enhance its looks. There's no set price for a customising job. It can run anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 for a paint job or $3,000 to $30,000 for custom restyling of the body and interior. In order to design and build cars for the movies, Barris would often go on location and work with the star. Barris became a promotive technical advisor.
So you not only design stunt cars, but how the stunt's going to be performed?
That's correct. I mean, even with the styling of the motor car that has to go with a certain production, if you have a stunt that calls for a rollover or a spin out or a jump, all of these characteristics has to be worked out with coordinators, your script writers and your producer and even your talent. I mean, your star, that has to be dubbing in for what that stunt's going to be. I work a lot of that out on miniature boards. That means we actually make a duplicate of the street or this roadway that we're going to do this stunt. With these 1/25th scale Ertl models, which they are actual scale cars that are made by a hobby toy company here in the United States, we take these Ertl type cars and we would make these actual stunts and speeds, and we would calculate on tape how many feet, how many miles per hour, and how fast you can go to do this stunt before you either blow it up or you go off a roadway or whatever it is. So we find out that this must be done with everybody in a combination, because the stunt coordinator has to work it out with me that has to build the cars and design the cars, as well as the man that drives the car, as well as the script writer that has to write it into the script, as well as the producer who's originated the story, and as well as the star who has to eventually get into that car and portray what happened in that stunt. So each person becomes very involved with every part of what's been done in a stunt, chase, or crash scene. You're now sitting in a complete new experimental car. Over $100,000 to engineer it, construct it, design it. It's taken 1 year to build this car, and it's called the Computor XV, which is basically, the reason why is that we have full electronics put on a graph panel. We have a multiple switch system, and watch as you see all of the lights start to come up. You notice all the bead lights are going to pick up on everything that's going to happen to this motor car. You have a complete color television set. Well, again, we'll pick up anywhere and any station. You'll notice over here, we have a monitor. This monitor is for rear projection for rear view mirror. You no longer have to look in a rear view mirror. You have it come up on a screen, and you can tell everything within 1 mile back with a wide-angle lens from both sides of you what's happening around your motor car. Of course, the graphs and the computers that runs out on all these bead lights will function all of the operational units of this motor car. We have the NAC phone system, which is, again, on the lighting panels, that you can phone anywhere in the world and also be able to record your phone calls. Again, we have a Kenwood musical system that has 6 speakers built within the door panels and 12 in the back. Now, to show you what really powers the car is what's going to be astonishing. As you can see and hear, that's 700 horsepower of sure engine, transmission, and rear-end driving conditions with all that power. So you can hear that noise, and that's why you know you can get into speeds of over 150 miles an hour.
In some films, the plot becomes centred around the car. Cars used in films soon began to acquire personalities of their own. They developed characteristics that made them stars, attracting as much attention as the actors or actresses who appeared in the films. Customizers such as Barris were in much demand to create cars to suit the movies.
This is the famous Monkey Mobile. This was created for that Monkey television rock series group. Actually, it's a GTO Pontiac. It's about 20 feet long because we've extended it 3 different ways so that it can carry the complete group that records as well as all the instruments in the back. Of course, the big thing is it has a great big Pontiac supercharged fuel-injected engine. Puts out over 600 horsepower so that you can see that we can get speeds that can run, and also we have parachutes that come out of the back so when it will be able to stop. Of course, the intricate 3-piece nose front end and the traditional Monkey's red color with the yellow trim gives it the graphics and the unique flavor that you see on television at all times. We use the extra wide Goodrich tires, again, because of the stability for the stunts that we want. And of course, we keep our Kenwood sound system throughout the vehicle because in recording and recording their musical songs, we want to be able to have the playback come through the motor car the same as we do on the different stations. So this gives you an idea of what a television rock group has for their kind of a motor car, which is the Monkey Mobile.
What would be the most expensive car that you've customized?
Well, I would say that Bobby Darin's dream car, which was a experimental vehicle that was built for Bobby Darin, took 6.5 years to build it. But it was such a beautiful motor car. That's because when you open the doors, the top would raise up. When the sunlight would come down, the headlights would come on automatically. If there was any raindrops at all on the hood, a shroud would come open and the windshield wipers would come out automatically. When you turn a corner, the taillights would turn with the steering wheel. So it was really a car that we built in the 60s that was valued at $150,000. That was about 10 years ahead of its time. And another car we did for Zsa Zsa Gabor, which was a gold-plated limousine. And it was a Rolls Royce, and we had actually $30,000 worth of gold with that automobile. So it gives you an idea of some of these expensive automobiles that we were able to build and design and build.
Out of all the cars that you've ever made, do you have a favorite?
Not really, mainly because every car was an enjoyment to build or design, either for the personality or for the production or even commercial. I built tomato cans on wheels. I built guitar cars on wheels, bed buggies, bathtub buggies. Anything that I felt could be on wheels, I would take the challenge to build it. So I love those kind of cars because even if they were kinky, they were fun. Then you take beautiful cars that we've created, the Ferraris and the Barristers and the Titans. These are exotic-looking motor cars that were fun. So I can't compare a Batmobile that was an enjoyable spoof car with a humorous monster car for the Munsters, or an exotic Barrister that I've created for Bo Derek. That kind of I can't really have a favorite. Every car has a part in my heart, so I guess I gotta like them all.
Don't you find it hard to sell them?
Well, every car is built for clients. I don't build cars on what we call spec basis. We actually design cars for the person. Well, a good example, when I created the cars for Sonny and Cher, I would have to spend time with both of them in their home and socialize, mainly because a car is a very important part of a person's life. Either the home is very livable, but so is your car very livable. You spend a lot of time in your car. So you have to find out what Sonny and Cher likes. Sonny was very masculine. He likes the bobcat fur and the suedes and the gold tone colors. And Cher, she likes ermine fur. She likes hot pinks. She likes patent leather. So you can't take all of that and put them into one car. So I built them two cars, the his and her Mustangs, the hot pink Mustang and the gold tone bobcat Mustang for Sonny. But I wouldn't have found these out unless you really spend time to find out what their needs and their desires are.
Many of the cars that were built for movies and television have been made as scale model kits sold in hobby stores. George is still active in the toy industry, although much of his emphasis has switched to action toys like remote control cars. Barris is more than a famous customizer. He's been a major influence on the car scene in America with his boundless ideas and energy.